Welcome to the End Times at God's Barn. I'm Al Buhrke, and this is my prophetic ministry. It's part of Victory Life Today. You can go check out our website at Victory Life Ministries and get information on how to live the blessed life, the everyday life. But this side of the ministry is prophetic. We're really bringing out what's going on. And I really want to do this as an update. This is a big time update to the one I just did that we just released. I'll have this one put on right behind it, because there's some things in there I didn't really like. And so I want to update a few things. And if you read this, and when you read Ezekiel 38 and 39, mostly really 38, you have to remember the nation that's being described there is not Israel. It is America. Now, you could say, oh, it's not America. It's not America. Okay, fine. But you can't say it's Israel because it doesn't fit the ticket. They have bars and gates and walls everywhere over there. So that bounces out Israel. It's not. And not only that, right before the description of that nation, it says Israel, and shortly after it says Israel. So why would you describe a nation that you just named? The reason why they described that nation is because at the time it was written, that nation didn't exist and, of course, didn't have a name. So what we're looking for, and I just want you to know, Russia, according to Revelation 18, will attack America someday. And the only way they can do it was a major nuclear attack. Some people say America already has the Golden Dome to resist all of that. It probably does. Russia has scalar, what they call scalar technology to sort of deflect our nukes that go to them. So we don't know how that exactly is going to play out in that part of it. But here's what I want to, the important part I want to get into you is we're looking for a timing of the rapture. And I cannot give you a date. Anyone and everyone that ever gave a date of the rapture has been 100% wrong 100% of the time. And no one knows the date. I believe personally, God doesn't have a date. I believe he's trying to get to a number. The scripture seems to indicate when the number's full, when however many people he wants to get into his kingdom are done, that's when it ends. And for sure, get it out of your head that we're going to be here for the tribulation. God is not going to bring a judgment on me for serving him for 40 years and doing the best I know how to do. He's not going to judge me or you with the wicked. It's not going to happen. We'll be at his, and if you look at what Jesus said, he talked about the days of Noah, and it indicates totally normal life. Everything normal. It goes on, buying and selling and getting married. So life is normal, and one morning we're gone. And now the world they're going to get what they want. At least in America, they're going to get what they want. So we're looking now, when is the rapture going to actually happen, or how do we get close to about when it's going to happen? And we know we're in the last days or the end times. Everybody, that's not a big deal. It's just that how last is the last days? How many months, years, whatever do we have left? I don't know. Here's what I said in the previous video. What we're looking for is Russia to bring their troops down. You have to have a staging area, a place where all your men are, the food is there, ammunition, tanks, everything there. And I said that it could be in southern Lebanon, Turkey, or possibly Damascus or Syria. But the more I'm reading all of this, it's going to be Turkey. Now, let me read this to you. In Ezekiel 38, he says here, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Gog, the land of Magog. Gog is a person. Magog is a country or a land. Now, if you go into the ancient books, Magog was what we would call modern day Turkey. And Gog would be the leader, the president, whoever. Magog is not Russia. Now, you got to understand another thing. When they labeled a country or land or an area in antiquity way, way back, they didn't have set borders. They didn't say, all right, on this side of the river, that's Russia. This side is Turkey or whatever. It was just a generalized area. So from the generalized area of Magog, Turkey, and around all up through to the west of it, and all up and to the northern parts is all part of it. And yeah, now I'm going to read this. And he goes on to say, Meshach and Tubal is not Russia. That is Turkey today. And prophesy against them. And he goes on and he says, I'm going to put hooks in your jaws. And I'm going to bring you down in a great horde. We know all of that. Then it says this in verse 5, Persia, Cush, and Put will be with them with all their shields and helmets. Also, Gomer with all its troops, and Beth Togarmah from the far north. Beth Togarmah is Russia, and they are the far north. So, yes, nothing's changed. Russia's part of the whole thing, but Russia is not Gog and Magog. Russia is Togarmah from the far north with its troops and many nations with you. And there has never been, Israel's been invaded. So if you go through the history books, Israel's been invaded so many times, it's ridiculous. It's just one thing after another invading that country. But there has never been in history a time when Israel was invaded by all these countries together. In other words, Iran and Turkey and Russia and all of them together as a band coming against Israel. It's never happened before. It's going to happen soon. It's about to happen, maybe. I don't know. This thing is being filmed, I think today is December 12, 2025. So I can't tell you when the rapture is going to happen, but I can tell you there's signs you want to look for. And that what you need to do is start looking for Turkey, not Lebanon. Now, needless to say, they have to go through Lebanon to get into Israel, but Lebanon's just going to let them in. What's Lebanon going to say to Russia, really? But they're probably with them, in agreement, and they're going to say, yeah, you just use our roads, whatever. I would say it this way, because of the scripture and my latest understanding, the setup, the staging area, the way they're going to run this thing is out of Turkey, based on the scripture. Magog is Turkey, not Russia. So look for a buildup of troops in Turkey or Russian troops in Turkey now coming in there for what reason? One reason only, invade Israel. Now you got to understand, when they invade Israel, Russia will nuke America. America will nuke Russia back, and that's when the rapture happens. Take it from me, the rapture is simultaneous with the judgment of America. God is not going to judge me or you. If you're a Christian, there's no need to judge me. The punishment was all taken by Jesus. The punishment's gone. Forget all of that. God's going to beat on you for your sin. It's incorrect. Now, when you let the devil in the mix, he's going to beat on you, and he's just going to have fun. The devil's going to use you. You know, on a side note on all of this, many years ago, when things would happen to me, I would get upset and yelling and screaming and going nuts and so upset. And one day the Lord said this to me. He said, the devil uses you for entertainment. I was like, what? He says, yeah, all the devil's got to do is show up in your life with some crazy thing and get it all started. And you start yelling and screaming and going nuts. And the devil totally destroyed your day. And when the devil's all done with you, he rides on back to hell, wherever he is. And I was like, oh my God. And what God was trying to show me in that is the devil's your problem, not God. When your sin or your rebellion to God, or it says, when you're willing and obedient, you'll eat the good of the land. If you're not eating the good of the land, maybe you're not willing and obedient, and it goes past holiness. It's just doing what God's called you to do. Well, I didn't want to get too much off on a rabbit trail on that one. But here's how you will know it gets, and you could get this information. Just go online and keep looking for Russian troop buildups in Turkey. You can go on YouTube, see what's going on over there. I haven't been there yet to check that out, but we'll see what happens. I'll do that. Look for a Russian buildup in Turkey, maybe some, and when these guys align like Iran, which is Persia, when they start aligning themselves, they're not going to announce it to you. They don't have to. We don't know when that's going to happen, but they're all going to fall in place, and they're going to attack Israel, and they will be miserably destroyed by God. And at that point, the whole world will know God is alive and well and real. And if you ever look at a map at the size of Russia, Turkey, Iran, all these nations all around, and Israel is so tiny, it's a joke. It really is a joke. I don't care how much technology they have over and above the Muslims. And the Muslims, they really don't even know how to operate that stuff. That demonic religion blinds them. And Russia, Russian technology is way behind the West. I remember when I was a kid, Russia was in America buying our pinball machines to get the technology, the computer technology out of them and put it in their jets. And they're still way behind. Russia should have wiped out Ukraine in three weeks. But because of American and Western technology, it's gone on like 3 years. I don't even know how long. What I'm trying to say is this. They all will get together and they will attack with all they got, and God will destroy them, sending back a small portion to go home. And the world at that point will know He is the Lord and there is no other. Thank you for watching.